And let's start with cat-cow. So we're going to round the back and then let the spine float down. And if you've just got out of bed, you might need to ease into this. So you could breathe out as you round the back and breathe in as the head lifts. And you don't need to keep your arms rigid, you can have a little bit of bend in the elbows. Pushing into the fingertips so you're spreading the weight through all of the hands. And let's make a circle with the hips. You could take it slowly or you could do it faster. Doing it faster if you want to build some energy. Changing direction. And then taking the knees a little wider to the edges of the mat, big toes together, and take your left hand into the middle of the mat and the right arm up. Pausing for a moment, breathing in, maybe reach a little bit higher. And breathing out, bring the arm down. Let's swap to the other side, taking the arm up, pausing for a moment. Just notice maybe one side feels easier than the other, reaching a little higher and then coming down. Let's do that again, and this time might be slightly easier. You might be able to take your arm a little bit further back behind, opening across the chest, reaching a little bit higher, breathing in and breathing out. Same to the other side. Trying to relax around the hips and pelvis, reaching a little higher and coming back down. Let's bring the knees back underneath the hips. Going to come into a downward dog, so making the middle fingers parallel with each other, spreading the fingers out nice and wide so you have a spread across or a stretch across the palms. Let's tuck the toes under, lifting up with a bend in the knees, so we're focusing on the hips moving back away from the hands, letting the head relax. And if you want to stay up, we're going to bend one knee and the other knee, waking up the legs. You can also come up onto tiptoes, lifting the heels high, hips high, and then sink the heels down towards the floor, pushing into the hands and the fingertips. Use all of the fingers against the ground, spread the weight away from the wrists. And then let's bring the knees down and untuck the toes. And we're going to have the hands onto the hips and sink down into a kneeling position. And then breathing in, some extra squeeze in the buttocks at the top, squeezing forwards and then resting down. So coming up, maybe even a slight tuck under of the tailbone. So we're building strength below the back to support the back. That's it, coming up, make sure you squeeze forwards 2 more times. Brilliant. And then let's sit for a moment. If you've got a block or a cushion, that might be good to have under your hips. I'm going to come into a cross-legged position. That's it. And then moving the ribs side to side. So imagine you're trying to take one shoulder away from the opposite hip. You should feel it waking up the sides. And then let's lead with the breastbone. We're going to take the chest round in a circle. So I'm puffing my chest forwards, coming to one side, sinking back out to the other side. So drawing a horizontal circle with the chest. Let's change direction. And then into a side stretch. So I'm going to reach one hand out to the side, have a bit of bend in that elbow, other arm coming overhead. And you might close your eyes for a moment, check in with the face. Is the face relaxed? Have Have some space between the upper and lower teeth so the jaw can release, tongue soft in the mouth. And you might find after a few breaths that you can go a little bit deeper. Doesn't matter if not. You can always back off as well. And then big breath in to come up. Let's swap to the other side. Bit of bend in the elbow you're leaning on, so it's not just bones locking out, but we're using our muscles. Pausing here, pelvis heavy. Keep the breath flowing in and out, face relaxed. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Again, doesn't matter if you can't. And then big breath in to come up. Let's take one leg to the side. So this is sometimes called the cheerleader pose. So you want to have the pelvis as level as possible. So you might need to add in a block or another cushion until you feel like you can sit level. So if you've got your feet to your left as you mirror me, you want to really try and relax heavy down through both hips. So rather than being off to one side, shoulders are stacked over the hips. Let's take the arms up. I'm going to take the palms up towards the ceiling or sky. I forgot I was outside. And then rolling the other way. So you're going in each direction as far as you can. And then let's keep one palm up, the other palm turns down, and we're going to swap. And then whichever palm is upright, facing towards the sky, we're going to reach in that direction. Swap the arms over into a rib slide. So it might be you don't go very far to each side, that's okay. You might already feel like quite a strong position with the legs. Lovely, let's relax the arms down. I'm going to take one hand behind so you're moving away from the feet, looking over the shoulder or letting your eyes close for a moment. I want you to really sink into the hip. So if you've turned to the left, you're sinking down into the right hip. Both hips stay down, pelvis heavy. Breathing in, sitting tall. Breathing out, feeling connected to the ground. And then let's face forwards. We're going to walk the hands out in front. So you might come a little way forwards, or you might be able to come further. You can let the head relax for a moment. So we're still pushing back into the sitting bones, into the hips. And again, it might feel quite strong on the hips. If it is, keep breathing. Imagine sending the breath to that hip, encouraging it to relax. And then walking the hands back in. And do the same to the other side, so swapping the legs over. So I've got one foot next to the opposite leg's knee. And you might need to change the blocks and cushion that you're sitting on. Often we're different from one side to the other. So let's bring the arms up, turning the palms up towards the sky and then down towards the earth or even further back. So we're trying to keep the shoulders relaxed as we take the arms as far as they'll go, forwards and backwards. And then let's do opposite with the arms. So one palm turning up, the other one stays down, and then swapping. And then whichever palm is up, we're going to reach in that direction, swap the arms, reach in the other direction. So hopefully after these rib slides this morning, we'll be able to take some bigger breaths, deeper breaths. And then we're going to twist the opposite way. So you're turning away from the feet, one hand behind, just behind you. So rather than leaning back on it, propping you up, it's helping you to sit tall. I'm going to look over the shoulder, or let the eyes close. Breathing in, reaching the crown towards the sky. Breathing out, connect to the earth. Keep the breath flowing in and out, face relaxed. And then coming forwards. So you might stay on hands, you might come down to your forearms. So really trying to relax into the hips to make this possible. Let the head relax if you like. being aware of the sensations in the body. If it feels really tight, keep breathing into those hips. Okay, let's walk the hands back in. And then I'm going to come into a lunge position. So I'm going to take my right foot forwards, and you can pad the left knee if you're on a hard surface. So I'm going to take the foot far enough forwards that I can bring the knee over the ankle, hip sink forwards and down, sweeping the arms up, maybe a little bit of a back arc, and then folding forward. See if you can straighten the front leg, balancing on the heel, drawing the toes towards your face. It might be you need to keep a bend in the knee, that's okay. And I'm going to bring the arms up again, sinking the weight of the hips forwards, and then folding forwards, seeing if you can balance on the heel. Let's do that one more time. So a half split. Brilliant. Let's change sides. We're working our way up to a little sequence. So bring the hands up, find your balance. Have a wide enough stance from side to side. And then folding forwards, trying to work to straighten that leg. And you might realise you've got the distance slightly wrong between the foot and knee. So you can always take the front foot further forwards to give you a bit more space. Let's do it one more time. I seem to have got a root underneath my knee, which isn't the most comfortable. All right. So we're going to come up to standing at one end of your mat. So I'm going to mirror it in how you're seeing me. So you're going to step back with your right foot to come into a lunge position. Untuck the toe, step your left leg back. So the left knee is a little bit behind the right knee, and then we're going to sit down behind the feet so we can turn the knees over to the other side. And then you can use your hands if you need to, or hands in front of the chest. We're going to lean forwards to come up onto the knees again. Step the right foot forwards, and then left foot to come to standing. Oops, I'm into the apple tree. So left foot steps back into a lunge. Untuck the toe. Right leg comes a little bit further behind, and there's room to sit down. Take the knees over. Use your hands if you need to. Lean forwards to come up. Left foot forwards. Right foot coming up, back to standing. Let's go again, it gets easier and easier. So right foot stepping back, untuck. Left leg behind, sit back behind the feet. Turn the knees over. Leaning forwards. Right foot stepping through into lunge. Left leg to stand up. So you can always go a little bit more slowly. Left foot back. Right leg a little further behind. Sitting down, roll the knees over, leaning a little forwards, left foot stepping through, onto the right leg to come up. Let's do it one more time. Left leg, right leg, right leg, left leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. Wonderful. So if that's the first time you've done it, might feel a little tricky. It gets easier and easier as your body gets used to the pattern of it. Let's bring the feet underneath the hips. Taking a moment to stand tall. Imagine a ribbon running through the spine, up through the crown of the head, drawing you towards the sky. Roll the shoulders back. So we're going to reach towards the sky and then folding forwards. You can have a bend in the knees if that helps. Oh, hello earwig. Let the head relax. Let the arms dangle. Might shake the head yes and no. And we're going to slowly uncurl. So probably a bit of bend in the knees. Nice for the lower back. Uncurling, imagine there's a zip up the front, drawing the navel in towards the spine, coming back to stand tall, rolling the shoulders back. Let's do a roll down this time, so chin to chest, head heavy, let the arms start to dangle out in front, keep rolling down. You can put some bend in the knees if that helps your lower back. And when we come down, again, his head is heavy, but we're going to take hold of the opposite elbow, so like you're making a box with the arms. See if you can bring the weight a little bit more forwards into the toes, and taking the arms a little side to side, might just be a couple of centimetres. Feeling that into the sides of the body. And relax the arms down. Before we come up, think navel drawing in towards the spine, and keep that going as you uncurl, so slower than last time. Navel drawing back into the spine, helping you come up to your standing tall. You can roll the shoulders back. Let's bring the palms together. So thumbs resting in against the chest. Letting your eyes close for a moment if you wish. And just tuning in to how your body feels. Hopefully you're ready for the start of the day. Let's take the arms wide. Lift the chest, look up. Big breath. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.